Ashutosh, everyone across the country right now very concerned about where you are in Mandvi. Take our viewers through what you're experiencing, Ashutosh.
Well, Rahul, this has been really a troubleful day, totally. Since morning, there was one expectation that landfall probably, there will be some dilution as far as the wind velocity is concerned. But clearly it's the nature, and when it comes to the nature, the manpower, human effort, all goes literally failing. Right behind me, you see somehow we have taken a shelter near a private hospital in Mandvi. There is a literally power snap all over the city. This was indeed a preventive measures. But since the landfall process has begun, and it's going to intensify further, so it may take 4 to 5 more another hours when the peak of the impact will be seen at the coastal lines. Of course, the people from the lowline areas have been evacuated, taken to the safer places. But when it intensifies, we have already seen the results of it. Most of the trees all along the line have been uprooted. Many banner posters, everything just falling apart. And probably while the night people will be sleeping in Mandvi, they would not realize that what they're going to see next morning. So this morning at the port area, near the area, there was high tide. And remember, while it's going to gradually intensify at around midnight, there will be also high tide at the same time. And that is one prediction that in low-lying area, there's going to be totally flood-like situation. We have seen QRTs, fire department, SDRF, NDRF, all teams have been put on standby if there is a requirement to evacuate people from those flood-affected area. Since mostly the concrete house, pakka houses, people are still living in, the close monitoring taking place at the moment. Power is totally blackout in the city except the emergency measures. Private hospitals are running on the private DG sets. So far all lying, and in fact people are praying just a safe passage and praying the cyclone passes through without causing much damage. But the potential wind speed which is expected gusting up to 140 kilometers, we have seen several examples in recent past from Odisha to Gujarat to several other parts. When it touches down, what kind of devastation brings, Rahul?
I've covered a few super cyclones in my time, and the moment where Ashutosh is at this very instance is when you're in the eye of the storm. So the initial part of the cyclone has made landfall and it's raining, and then it feels okay, it's not so bad. That's because the cyclone is still coming, and it is where the eye ends and the real cyclone hits when the full fury, Ashutosh, of that cyclone is actually felt on the ground.
It was very difficult the moment, it was the pre side of the cyclonic activities taking place. It was I was barely able to stand and imagine my camera person who's also carrying a live backpack, transmission equipments, camera, tripod, everything. So that literally makes it difficult, almost next to impossible. And for a moment, there have been several instances, Rahul, when suddenly the wind speed was so high, though it was barely for a second, they were literally feeling that we could be falling down near the creek area. So that was really one of the worst experiences, and it reminded me the severe, as severe cyclone as it was in 2019 in Odisha, when the hotels near this Puri line were totally devastated. Even at 20 kilometers of the radius, several bus shelters. So the way we have seen the wind speed, and it's kindly gonna intensify further, we will see literally almost a havoc created by this cyclone in this area. But it is going to be really a long and a painful night for the people of Mandvi who are praying for their safety. Of course, they are in a safe shelter. Many have been in fact venturing out. We have been advising them, please go home. There is alarm issued, there is guidelines issued. Don't venture out with your family outside and remain indoors at least for the next 24 hours. So of course, it's going to be really very long night here, Rahul, in Mandvi.